and blow feat in
Yeah.
this week's. Go ahead and use that. So just let me know how that works.
Yep. Yep. All right, at least we have sound coming through. So that means the stream is up and running. I don't know if it's any good or not. So that means the stream is up and running. I don't know if it's any good or not. Just pause that music. Welcome. I think we're good. Sounds like we're good anyway. Let's see how it goes. Just missing.
I can see some child that can't read looking at Renoir and thinking his name is Renewer.
Mhm.
Maybe it's just manure. Who knows?
Not much. How you guys doing?
Player tonight, so you guys are on your own. No magic user.
Uh-oh.
And I did not kill Loquacious Luke for being a family man.
As old as that magic user looks, DM, you could just say he's off taking a nap because he exercised all day.
Yep, you guys made him
got
walk.
tired of copying all those spells into a spell book and just
Made
wiped
him
out.
walk from one end of town to the other, and he's like, "Screw this! I'm going to have my tea and coffee, or my tea, I should say, my black root tea, so I don't die on y'all."
He never did really explain that to us. I don't know if that's a.
It's sort of a his thing, but it's essentially he drinks that black root tea because he's an albino and he has like hemophilia, so this black root tea helps him. And without it, after if he goes without drinking that tea for a day, it becomes problematic if he's taking damage. So
Right. So somebody's read Alec or Melnibone.
Oh, exactly.
So I'm not sure if that's where he got his. Yeah, I wasn't sure if that's exactly where he pulled it from, but at least that is the what he's going for. That sort of a weak but not weak, you know.
Go with me. I like those books.
Oh yeah, as long as he doesn't start swinging that sword around, we're all right.
Well, if he has that sword, I'll be pretty worried.
Hey, DM, have you considered approaching Oots and seeing if they would like to sponsor our channel since their potato chips only have 3 ingredients?
I have not. I actually approached there was a group or a guy that I used to buy all my used D&D stuff from. And I guess he had contemplated at first, but I mean, we're such a small channel. We only get maybe 20 people watching the session, and at most maybe 10 at a time, but a total of 20 different people usually come in and out of the channel while we're streaming. And so apparently that was nowhere near large enough. So if we ever happen to take off and get a larger following, if you will, maybe somebody will sponsor. But I don't worry about sponsorships. I have a hard enough time getting my players to show up. They're all off to Costa Rica and sick grandkids and you name it. But anyway, time is up. Let's kick this thing off. Excuse me, and we made it. Hello, everybody. Welcome to tonight's episode of Agora Quest, session 15 of our Age of Worms campaign. Appreciate you guys coming by on a Monday night. Now that no more sports ball is interfering, we should be getting massive crowds because all those people that normally watch football and stuff, we know the only reason they went to watch or weren't here is so they could watch football. So I'm expecting probably maybe 15, 20,000 people to roll through here tonight now that football's over, but we are kind of popular, especially now that we got the hairy foot with us. But that's beside the point. I appreciate you guys showing up tonight. I am Sean, your host. If you're new here, welcome. Old hands, welcome back. A little bit about us. You know, every Monday we are here, first edition Dungeons and Dragons. First edition-ish. Mostly first edition, but for this adventure, we've got a few things that we are playing with that aren't quite first edition. As an example, we have to milestone level because of the way this adventure originally was written. It's very difficult to translate it to first edition because as much treasure and monster killing as these guys do, they'd make it to about third level when they're supposed to be 20th level. So We're gonna milestone this. Additionally, we have some specialty priest stuff that we're going to be tinkering with for first edition. But that's okay, man. No big deal. We'll get it worked out and carry on smartly. Also, if you like 5th edition, we have a new campaign coming up that will be kicking off this Friday. Our Savage Tide 5e game. Session 0 is this coming week. Hopefully you guys can be there. The session's going to be kind of the ground rules and the introduction of the characters, and kind of like we did here on a Session 0, where folks that weren't real familiar with the Foundry VTT or how Forge works and all that stuff, we're going to get them in and we're going to tinker around and play and do some combat, just so that they get a feel for just how shitty these dice do roll. And so that way the players in this campaign won't feel so bad when they're watching nat 1s and 2s and 3s and everything else that they roll except to hit happens to somebody else besides them. Speaking of which, if you're new here, don't forget, as you watch the stream, you earn tokens, just like any other Twitch channel. As you watch, you earn tokens. You can trade those tokens in this campaign to grant players, or your humble DM, if you will, nat 1s or nat 20s. That means that they can replace any dice roll with a nat 1 or a nat 20 if they have it on hand. So what does that mean? That means if I hit them with a critical hit and they happen to have a nat 1 on hand, they can swap my dice roll for that nat 1, meaning that I critically miss instead. And vice versa. So those definitely come in handy. Especially if you've seen our dice rolls. Currently, normally I don't carry those over stream to stream, but I did carry the ones over from last stream. So currently, Mulgar and Hub still have nat 20s on the books, should they need them tonight. So do not forget that. Additionally, if you want to help support the stream, for every 100 bits that you cheer, you can grant a +1 to the player or DM of your choice. Those do carry over from stream to stream, because if you are going to use your hard-earned money, real-world money, to help support the stream in any way, shape, or form, I'm going to allow the players to carry those across. And so what does that mean? That means for every plus that the player has, they can use that to raise or lower a dice roll that number of points. So if they have +30 available, meaning you've granted 30 points to them, meaning you've cheered 3,000 bits or whatever, that player has 30 points that they can use to raise or lower dice scores of their own score, not somebody else's. And so, well, I say that, but last week I did allow a little bit of finagling because we could have lost somebody to a deadly spider bite. So I allowed you guys to share a couple points. Mulgar, or was it Modred? Modred had to use all of his points, and then somebody granted him a +2. I think it was Renoir or Mulgar. One of the two granted 2 of the points that they had to help avoid the save versus poison or die scenario. And the reason I allowed that is because it sucks away the points that the players have available to use, and so there we have it. But anyway, bottom line is, as of right now, Biamba has 5 points, Hub has 2, Mulgar has 3, Renoir still has 1. Everybody else is a big fat goose egg, myself and Modred included. And so, yeah, so I encourage you to get those in as soon as you can, so that they can use them sometime throughout the stream if they need them. And last but not least, of course, if you want to help support the stream in a big time way, we have a tip jar. You can subscribe. But if you're not one of those ones that want to track your subscriptions and have to remember, hey, I only want to do this for a month and it automatically renews and you forget about it, whatever the case, I encourage you to use the tip jar. Tip jar is just as good as subscribing. The difference is that all of the money goes to the content provider, meaning that instead of Twitch taking their cut, 50% or 40%, depending upon how much of a big name you are, a tip jar will just let you donate directly to the content provider, and the only thing that gets taken out is something from the payment processing folks like PayPal or whomever you're paying through. Takes like a 1% fee or something like that, even that really. And I've mentioned this several times, but I've gotten tips from folks that support the stream, and on a $10 tip, there's like a dollar charge. On my $200 tip, there was like I don't know, it was $4 or $5 charge, whatever it was. I can't remember. It's been so long, but yeah, man, I encourage you to use that tip jar on any content provider. Regardless of if you think that we deserve it or not. If you feel that there is a content provider that you follow out there that should deserve that tip, hopefully you got a tip jar. Use it. And what else? Oh, last but not least, if you like Greyhawk like we like Greyhawk, I encourage you to check out the Greyhawk Creative Team page, twitch.tv/team/Greyhawk Creatives. A lot of great content out there. Lord Kazumba, Anna Meyer, Mike Disney. Those are my big favorites that I like to push. I think Darling Creepshow's on there. There's a few that are, not necessarily just Greyhawk, but for however reason they are tied to the Greyhawk community, and so they are out there on that team page. So I encourage you to go check it out. So exactly, the DM needs hair plugs, so throw those tips my direction. Thanks for that shout out there, Harry Hub. I definitely appreciate that. So let's talk about where we are. The party has been investigating goings on in Diamond Lake. They have last session they managed to come back from their expedition within the Cairn Hills and checking out the Whispering Cairn and all the stuff that they found out there. Alliston, the mage, their benefactor in town, secured for them a property, but the only condition on taking that property over, at least as temporary residents, was that they had to go clear it out of residents, so to speak. And so they did. Over the past couple sessions, they were clearing out the house. They've cleared out an upstairs, the main floor, as well as the basement. Last week, as I explained earlier, there was a nest of spiders down there that nearly took Modred's life. Fortunately, the party was there to save him, and they managed to finish clearing out the nest. And then in the interim, Modred had received word from Alliston regarding some things that he discovered in the texts and tomes. He's still doing research, as he told them. He's still waiting for some word back on some things. But he managed to identify some of the different runes, I should say, of the Wind Dukes that the party found. He identified the 7 Wind Dukes that had they were called the Wandering Dukes because during the battle of the Wind Dukes against the Queen of Chaos and her minions, 7 of the rather more powerful Wind Dukes went to various places in the multiverse to secure 7 pieces of stuff that, when put together, created what they called the Rod of Law. And this Rod of Law was used to help defeat the Queen of Chaos and her number one henchman, Miska the Wolf Spider. And so sort of gave a little bit of background and legend on that, as well as the 7 names of those particular Wind Dukes. Also gave a little bit of information about the sect of people known as the Ebon Triad. The Ebon Triad is sort of a bastardization of 3 different evil cults, one of Vecna, one of Erythnal, and one of Hextor. And those 3 radical branches of those religions are actually working tirelessly to bring about what they call the great overgod, or the one overgod, which is kind of a combination of all 3 of those deities. And in doing so, they would bring about this great cataclysmic event on the world known as the Age of Worms. And so the party has discovered that within Diamond Lake, there has been rumors of strange goings on. Balabar Smenk, one of the top mine managers here in Diamond Lake, actually brought a former companion of his, a necromancer by the name of Filge. He conscripted him to come to town to help sort of work through some of the things that he found. Apparently, Balabar got himself mixed up with a strange group of individuals working in the subterranean levels of some of the mines here in Diamond Lake, in particular Dourstone Mine, which is run by a dwarf by the name of Rangelin Dourstone. Now, Dourstone is formerly of Graysmere, which those that know Greyhawk lore know Graysmere is a rather prominent dwarf nation to the south and east of the free city of Greyhawk. It's on the other side of the Mist Marsh, but it's a rather prominent dwarf nation, and apparently Rangelin Dourstone was rumored to have been forced to leave for whatever reasons, Graysmere, and he wound up here in Diamond Lake and became a mine manager and has since begun to grow his business. And he and Balabar are economic and probably political rivals, but apparently somehow Balabar got swayed by Rangelin to aid him in whatever it was he was doing, and Balabar saw some things that made him concerned, or something happened that he called in his friend Filge to kind of figure out if he could help him. Well, the party found out Filge was grave robbing, or people were grave robbing on behalf of Filge, and so the party managed to run him out of town, but not before gathering such information and bringing it all to Alliston, who has since confirmed the party's concerns in that in this region apparently there is or was an ancient or an old group of cultists that were tied, if not directly, at least a satellite of the Ebon Triad, and they worked and did their thing in this region, in particular Diamond Lake, and probably are, if not left a footprint, at least actively working somewhere here in the mines or underground subterranean area. As I said, the Dourstone Mines were sort of pointed at just because of the fact that Rangelin Dourstone and Balabar Smenk were involved. And last but not least, the party did hear rumors previously that someone had been missing from Balabar Smenk's ranks, a rather high up lieutenant. And just last week, they heard a rumor that Balabar Smenk's henchman, or his right-hand man, if you will, had been found dead, or at least I should say his head had been found, as Balabar Smenk awoke to find this guy's head in bed with him, much like somebody mentioned last session, the Godfather leaving the horse head in somebody's bed. In this case, it was the head of his lieutenant. And apparently Smenk hasn't left his house for a while since that happened. So obviously a lot going on that the party is investigating. They went to discuss some things. They talked to some ladies of the night. I believe it was, correct me if I'm wrong, but it was
all Hub.
Harryfoot. That's it. I'm sorry. I was like, that's right. Harryfoot
How
Hub.
could you forget?
I know. Harry went into the midnight salute and was,
with the foot fur.
yeah, he went into the midnight salute and spoke with the elven madam by the name of Purple Prose, and got a little bit of information about what was going on. Some of the other party members, I believe it was Renoir and maybe Modred had talked. Yeah, Modred I think had talked to, but they stopped a contingent of soldiers that were walking, and got some other information about some strange happenings in town. Guards got a little suspicious about why they were questioning such things, laughed at the party when they talked about, strange mystical things going on, and told them to, basically F off. That's old wives' tales and things for children. But the party, having gathered information, decided that they were going to now head off back to the feral dog for whatever reason that they were going to go back to the feral dog. And so as they arrived at the feral dog, that was where we ended last week's session. And as I had mentioned earlier, it's in the evening, and not super late. The sun went down a little after 6 p.m. It's roughly about 9 p.m. now. But before we get started, players, is there anything that I missed or anything you need clarified or reminded of before we begin session 15 of the Age of Worms campaign?
Just the fact that we beat baby Trask that were disguised as spiders. That's it.
Yes, it was. They were all expecting a baby Trask to be under the house, and it was determined that it was all an illusion and that those spiders were actually the Trask, and the party came out victorious. Therefore, they're ready to go right to the end of this adventure and take on whatever the big bad is at the very end. So that's probably what we're going to be doing tonight, is just skipping all the formalities and going right to whoever the big bad is, if that's okay with everybody.
Yeah, let me get my backup character ready then.
Exactly.
All right. So if there is nothing further to do, the last thing I was going to say for those that watch the stream, Modred is not with us tonight. He has family things going on. So for those that follow along, if combat goes down, you will maybe be confused as to why Modred doesn't get involved. Whenever a player is missing, I don't play that character. They follow along kind of like in zombie mode. They can do general things, like in this case Modred could cast like identify spells or detect magic type things or whatever the case may be, but anything that requires active saves or active attacks and things like that, they do not get involved. So they're, for all intents purposes, they're a non-combatant that doesn't get involved in any combat or any, in the weeds details of stuff, but they do come along so that the party does have things available to them, and as far as that goes. So, and of course, they're always there to help take their share of the treasure. Wouldn't want to miss that. So, anyway, with that, let us begin tonight's episode. As I said, episode 15 already. We are cruising along. You guys stand in the town center now, looking at the feral dog, one of the only places that still has light as far as businesses. Well, 3 places really here have light coming from the structures, and that is the feral dog, which of course is building 3, the Emporium, which is building 1. Yep. What's that?
DM, could you put the map up on the Twitch channel?
Yep, doing it right now. You can see, as I said, the feral dog, the Church of St. Cuthbert, which is building 4, and the Emporium, which always has light 24/7 coming out of it, because the Emporium, as I said, is like a combination of Walmart and Buc-ee's and you name it. Yeah, exactly.
Buc-ee's from now on.
All right. Instead of the Emporium, it is officially called Buc-ee's. So that's it's kind of like it is late enough at night that the majority of shops have closed down for the day. It is a partly overcast night with the 2 moons showing. One of them has a bare sliver taken out of it. The other one has a bare sliver beginning, but it provides enough light to gently illuminate the rest of town, with the heavy, thick smoke coming out of many chimneys, as well as the smelting house, giving sort of a heavy thickness to the air, albeit even though it's cold outside, still has that sort of a heavy, thick feel to it. The sounds from within the feral dog are your typical. You hear songs going on, laughter and loud voices. Sounds like the betting pool is still going on with the routine dog fights that you guys have seen going on inside the dog. But what do we wish to do from where we're at now?
I know we talked about going to the feral dog, but I'm almost thinking, should we go try to knock on Balabar Smith's door? I know it's late, but maybe he wants to give us some information now that he's scared.
And also, there's some workers that are potentially at the Gar and the Rusty Bucket too that we might want to check out.
Yep. So the Rusty Bucket is a small tavern that is toward the eastern edge of town, building 25, which is way off to the east on the main vein road going outside. It is actually directly across the street from a rather large compound house, well-to-do establishment that sits right on Diamond Lake. So yeah, absolutely. If you guys wanted to do that as well, so definitely willing to split the party. You guys just need to tell me what you want to do.
Who went in to see the ladies of the night?
That was Hub.
Oh, yeah. So I don't want to leave him by himself. And you know what kind of trouble he can get into.
Well, he's
Well,
out.
Yeah, he's with you. Yeah, he's with all you guys are right now, right there in front of the feral dog.
Okay. So he already got the information he wanted.
Yeah. You guys got the information. He was in talking to Purple Pros while you guys were talking to the roaming guards, and then he came out and y'all joined up, and then came back to the feral dog.
Okay, so let's head over to the other bar.
Yeah, might as well.
Yeah, I think so. I'd like to kind of talk to the miners themselves.
All right, so you guys are going to head over to the Rusty.
The Rusty Bucket.
The Rusty Bucket.
The Rusty Crab.
All right. It takes
Funny
you.
thing is, mentioning rusty buckets, I saw an article about Carmen Electra today.
Oh yeah. That's hilarious. All right.
She's 54, I think.
Really?
Hard to believe.
We are there.
I know we have a lot of viewers, DM, but she was looking for her 5th husband. So I wanted to put that out there for the viewing audience.
Yes, for the viewing audience. If you guys have any desire to go hang out with Carmen Electra, she is looking for her next guy. Give me just a second. I'm trying to. There we go. Okay. All right. So you guys arrive at the Rusty Bucket. You can see that light does come from inside. It looks like a late night eatery. See if I have any notes particularly. The outside, you can see the remnants of an old, I don't want to say, it looks almost like a dock on the entry side of the house, or the entry side of the establishment. A large overhang awning like roof protecting much of the old dock that sits out there, but you can see that the wood itself, a lot of it is rotted away. So whatever outside seating they may have once had, there is literally just one table remaining there, and it itself looks like it's about to give way at any moment. But inside, you can see a well-lit establishment. A pair of chimneys has smoke pouring out it, and you can smell whatever meats and foods on the wind as it comes floating up out of the chimney. And coming into... Oh, yeah, no, absolutely. It smells good. It smells like they're cooking meats and stuff, like you're walking by a modern-day steakhouse as you walk by, and you can smell the meats cooking and stuff.
No doubt the hair on the top of my feet standing at attention.
All right. So you trying to see if there's any notes that I had that were of entrance. But stepping in, you can hear kind of shouts and rumblings going on. And as you open the door, the restaurant itself is as any other restaurant may be. Many tables and chairs and stuff available. It is by nowhere or by any means filled at all. There's maybe what you would say 2 or 3 different groups of people sitting here, but off to one side near the roaring fireplace of the main dining hall, there are several long tables set, and there's a man standing at a podium, and they're having some sort of a discussion or something along those lines.
You have some idea what the discussion's about?
No idea. Essentially, you could tell as you were walking in that what he had just spoken of had something to do with mining in some way, shape, or form. The individual that you're looking at, he's wearing businessman-like attire. He's rather young, probably is, I don't know, early to mid-30s or so. He has a honey blonde hair that sort of hangs down just past his ears, and it's cut like straight bangs and straight down, sort of looking very aristocratic, if you will, or he's attempting to look like he's aristocratic, but you can tell he's not really. But he is dressed in his business attire, standing at this podium, and there are several individuals sitting around. Many of them appear, from what you could tell, wearing clothing of miners, dirty overalls, dirty faces, look like they've sort of half cleaned themselves up. Many have tankards of ale and the crumbs from whatever meals they ate sitting upon the table. As you enter in, a gentleman comes from behind the bar. Are you here for the meeting or are you here for the eating?
I think we're here for the meeting and the eating.
Well, grab yourself a table. Grab yourself a table.
I mean, meet the eating.
Now, grab yourself a table. I'll be there in a minute. What are you drinking? You drinking ale? You drinking water?
Ale.
Drinking ale.
As he takes people's orders and disappears back toward the bar. As I said, it's several open tables, so you're able to sit pretty much wherever you want. Not much room left over on the side of the establishment where the alleged meeting or the apparent meeting is going on, although the tables aren't nailed to the floor, so you're able to move tables or chairs, if you will, closer into the meeting area and whatnot.
Definitely do that.
We'll move a table
Just
over.
pulling it straight across the floor so it makes the most noise as possible.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will sit down next to some of the miners on the new table that we butt up to next to them, and I'll kind of whisper over at one and kind of go, "What's this guy selling?"
What do you mean selling? That's Chom Gansworth. He owns our mine, you idiot. Wait, you're not a miner. Who the hell are you? Why are you even here? You don't work the mines.
I heard there was a free toaster being given out.
We're looking for information on the Dourstone Mines. Are people who work here work for the Dourstone?
No. Keep your mouth shut. Nobody here works for him. Matter of fact, that's what this meeting's about. The Dourstone trying to move in on our territory and try to buy up Chom's business and stuff. And so just shut up and listen. And so as you guys sort of settle in, this individual that's standing up there notices that you come in and nods his head. Friends, this is a private meeting for my miners and myself. I would appreciate it if you would perhaps move yourselves out of the meeting area. You are free to stay and free to listen in, but I would ask that only those of my business and my associates remain in the meeting hall. Sort of asking you to, without being rude about it, to please move out of the area.
All right, so this isn't exactly the droids we're looking for, but it's related to them. So let's kind of move the table a little bit away, but close enough so we can still hear what's going on.
Yeah, there's no way you can't hear. You could sit anywhere in this room and hear what he's saying, right? It's not like a private room. It's an open area. They just sort of segregated it off, if you will. You could see a clear line of where the miners are versus where the rest of the establishment is. So it's not really like that big of a deal to move even back where you got the table from, and still hear.
All right, so we'll do that. We'll wait for our order and kind of listen into the meeting. I want to know what the meeting's about.
Okay. So the individual, as he begins to speak, begins to discuss certain attempted acquisitions of mineral rights to various mines here in Diamond Lake. One of which is the Gansworth Mines, and of course, we are not going to let that happen, my friends. We are not going to allow Balabar Smenk just to run us ramshod. Everybody knows that both he and those of his ilk, like Dourstone, pay their men a pittance, treat them like slaves, trying to force them literally to stay employed because as if they buy up everybody else, who else are these miners going to work for? So I will say it now and I will say it again. Myself and Luzane, we are here to form a partnership so that we may stand against these attempted takeovers of our mines, because, as you all know, if either Smenk or Dourstone get their hands on our mineral rights, it will be the end of how you do business and your gainful employment. He will cut your wages in half and make you work twice the hours. And all the guys are like, that's not going to happen. Blah, 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 blah. And so while he's going along those lines of discussion,
Kill the Smenk.
as they begin to go through essentially what I just described, your food or your ale arrives. Plates of mutton follow shortly behind with hot potatoes, some cooked veggies, mushrooms, and whatnot. And they slap the platters onto the table for you to partake of. It is a silver piece for the lot of it. So for your ale as well as for your foodstuffs, that is the charge. So make sure you take that off of your.
Leave a silver piece on the table as we go. I thought
Silver piece each, or for everything total, DM?
Everything total. It is for the drink and the food. It is one silver piece per person, not like for the whole table.
All right, I'll throw down a silver and then 9 coppers afterwards, DM, as a tip.
Okay.
I don't even know if Greyhawk has tipping, but we're going to introduce it and destroy the whole economy.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So, as I said, as he is speaking, you get the impression that he is a mine manager himself. He is discussing the fact that Dourstone or Smenk, either one of them, being able to procure the rights to the Gansworth mines would be like detrimental to the livelihood of all the miners that are gathered here, because of the fact that everybody knows that Dourstone is a cheap ass and Balabar Smenk is nothing but he's a former crook turned into a crooked businessman. Apparently Smenk, if rumors hold true, was at one time a bandit or a brigand or a member of a thieves guild, and he was a ne'er-do-well. And somehow, someway, he managed to finagle his way into the mining business and took over, and has since begun buying up various mineral rights and putting other people out of business. And now he and or Dourstone have their sights set on Gansworth Mines. And so Luzane, who is apparently apparently Luzane was at one time a mine owner who was forced out of business and forced to sell his mines to Smenk, and essentially now is stuck running the small business that he is here in I'm sorry, wrong guy. Luzane is another mine owner here in town who's being squeezed by the Smenk and Dourstone sort of working together to try to monopolize all of the mines here in town. And Luzane Perrin is, I said, is they're sort of forming a partnership. He and the Gansworth Mines and the Gansworth and Perrin Mines are now sort of going in together to help support one another so that they can better fend off the threat of Balabar Smenk or Dourstone, who right now seem to hold a lot of power and sway in the business community here in town. The town council, etc. Both of them are on the boards and kind of make things difficult for the other mine managers. So that is sort of the gist of the speech that he has given, and essentially swearing off any chance whatsoever of Smenk or Dourstone getting their hands on the Gansworth mining rights. It'll be over his dead body. His father did not create this business and build this mining business just to see it all thrown away at the first sign of difficulty. But if they all stand together, know that we'll have to work hard and make sure that our product is larger and more efficient than the other mines. They'll easily be able to fend things off, right? So it's kind of a hoorah speech, along with a warning that we need to really put our noses to the grindstone. Otherwise, we could find ourselves on the short end of the stick and end up working for Smenk, or worse, Dourstone, who, for all intents and purposes, every time he mentions Dourstone, there's sort of an undertone of grumblings of, yeah, there ain't no way I would ever work for that crazy dwarf. Might as well put me in shackles and make me do hard time in the pits of the Greyhawk mines, or something like, words to that effect. They'd rather be put in the cells of the Greyhawk Citadel than to have to work for that old dwarf, who would rather just see you die swinging an axe than live a life of meaning by earning an honest pay, etc. Right? So apparently Dourstone does not have a good reputation amongst at least these miners, who apparently work for Gansworth. At least they all appear to. But yeah, so that probably takes up about a half an hour of time as he's sort of speaking and discussing such things.
There's no implication that Dourstone is working with Smenk, though, right?
Not that they
equally dislike him, but they're not trying to
equally dislike them. However, I'm going to say that the exact opposite is true. There's the way this speaker, who apparently he is Gansworth, whoever Gansworth Mines are, he apparently is one of the owners, if not the owner. So at least you know his surname is Gansworth. But he is of the impression that somehow, some way, Smenk and Dourstone are in cahoots with one another to try to drive everybody else out of business so that they can monopolize everything. Now, whether they're working together or have an unwritten sort of rule that they're not going to go after each other, but everybody else is fair game, you don't know, but you get the impression that Dourstone and Smenk have at least some sort of an unwritten or unspoken kind of a agreement.
Under my breath, but I'll say it loud enough that could be heard. Why don't you just kill him?
You see some heads kind of snap around, and I don't. Who said that? Says the speaker. Who would dare? Who would dare?
I look around like I don't know who that was.
Whoever said that, we shall not fall to the likes of Dourstone or Smenk. They may resort to unsavory threats and intimidation or even murder in the night, but we shall not, for we are the true businessmen. We are the true backbone of this community, and we shall not be swayed by their underworld and underhanded tactics. Yeah, yeah. As everybody goes.
Die.
As a mug of ale gets set next to you, as the shopkeep says, "Watch your words. Some of them boys will go right to the authorities and let them know that you're here instigating trouble." And he disappears back toward the bar, leaving you another ale in the process.
I'll drink it. Straight down.
Kind of whispered everybody. I don't think there's anybody who works from Dourstone here tonight. I don't think they would be welcome given the meeting that's going on.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to get anything else here.
Interesting to know, though, the information.
And interestingly enough, I would not have thought those two would have been working together. That doesn't mean they are. Right?
So, as you recall,
I got no issue with going up to and knocking on his door.
Yep. Yeah, and that might be where we go next. Are there anything that we got out of the listening to the conversation or the presentation on why they think Dourstone and Schmenk are after them? What are there any like actions that happened in the mine or anything else that makes them think that these two are after them?
So essentially, I'm going to say not a direct like affront or attack on any one particular business. However, apparently, prior to the arrival of you guys, over the past couple of years at a minimum, there were several other mine managers or small mines here in town, and they ended up selling their mineral rights to either Dourstone or Balabar Smenk. And
that's like that Perrin person, right?
Yeah, so Luzane Perrin is one of the ones who is still a mine manager here. I misspoke when I said that he sold his mine. He had not, but he apparently had been squeezed by either Dourstone and Smenk to give up give up the mine or sell the mine rights or whatever the case may be, but has not done so as of yet. However, it seems that Smenk and Dourstone haven't, at least not known to the business community, have not tried to purchase each other's rights or tried to buy the other one out. It seems that they're more looking to become their own monopoly of mines, and so they're buying up all the little guys. And so apparently there's like 5 or 6 mine managers left out of what were like 15 or 20 over the past 10 years, right? And now it's been whittled down to just a few, because of Dourstone and Smenk buying people out. Sometimes again, no proof that you hear spoken, but allegations of impropriety and underhanded tactics and strong arm tactics forcing people to sell even if they didn't want to. Like somebody says that one of the mines was bought because Smenk or Dourstone killed the husband and left the wife with the mine rights, and so she didn't know how to run a mine, so she ended up selling, right? Stuff like that. Rumors, all rumors, nothing proven, hard fact, but things such of that nature of underworld tactics, as this guy Gansworth, whoever he is, this Gansworth fellow seems to think that underworld tactics are used to try to force businesses to sell, and by golly, he will not. Give me a wisdom check, please, Renoir.
Okay, doke.
So I am going to say that you're, it's funny you got a 19 and you still pass. That's hilarious.
Yeah, that circlet has helped me out a lot.
Sir, you, the hairs on your neck and down your arms sort of raise up a little bit at the notion of calling Dourstone's miners slaves to their jobs, like they don't have any other choice, because there's no other work, and so the Dourstones know it and treat them literally like slaves to do their bidding. So yeah, your hairs kind of raise up at the thought of the how Dourstone is treating his people.
I'll turn to my companions and say this is not really in line with some things that I've heard about Dourstone. He seemed, from what I heard, to be an upstanding, pretty straightforward guy and good to his workers.
So, what do we want to do from here, fellas? You've been here about an hour or so, give or take. Had your meal, had your
I got
drink.
a plan. I don't like it. I don't think it's probably not a good plan. I still say let's go over to Balabar's, knock on the door, and I'll do a little talkie, and we'll see if we can get some information.
I could bring Dogatu and threaten to have his balls bit off.
That's plan B. Let's go with plan A first.
Okay, okay.
All right, let's go over to Balabar's house, Smick's house. I'm not sure we're going to get in or get anywhere, but let's give it a try. I got an idea.
Did I put my...
Well, at least we know where these guys meet.
Yes.
It's true. It's true.
And they're not violent.
Uno momento here, folks. 2.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just I have a map for Balabar's house, but I don't know if I dropped anything. I thought I dropped some stuff on your... Okay. I don't have the... I'm going to just drop some tokens on a map I have you guys on there, but I did not. Like he has guards, so I just want to make sure that I put the guards up there. See. Some humans here. Stop trying to.
Sorry, everyone. My internet went down for a second.
You back?
Yes, sir. Sorry about that.
No, you're good. Because I was just pausing here for a second. I have to put a couple of.
Bernard, do you have any healing left? I realized I'm down 8 points as we walk over to Balabar's. Do you any chance you got another cure light left?
I got one left. I can give it to you.
If you don't mind.
Balabar Smenk's house is.
I'm
just realized
down
I'm down
14.
Oh, how many are you down?
I'm down like 14.
Oh, you take it then. I'm only down 8. Take it.
All right, we'll go ahead and knock that out then. Sorry, I didn't mean to zoom the map out for the people on the stream. Zoomed the wrong map. So Balabar's.
Yeah, Biamba's down 14. Give it to him.
You guys realize that you have no idea where Balabar Smenk lives.
Oh, that's problematic.
What was that? I'm sorry.
We don't know where he lives. How about this 26th, right across from that? Is that the Dourstone's residence? That looks like somebody important.
It is a large house, but it does not look to be Dourstone.
Outstanding, thanks.
Balabar's. All right, I'm gonna walk over towards the gate here. Let's get some directions.
That was definitely on brand for me, unfortunately.
Hang on, let me see. So you walk across the street and you see this compound. It is the wall itself around the house is relative stone all the way around. Stone walls go up about 10 feet, and there are, I don't want to say battlements, but they're like raised areas along the top, decorative sort of like edging along the top of the wall that goes all the way around. At each corner of the place, there is a small tower sort of connecting it all together. And there is a large gate right in front with huge barred gate, and you can see there are two small towers, and standing up at the tower there are two guards, both wearing what appear to be leather type armor. They have what look to be crossbows, as well as a couple of spears leaning up against the in the tower where they're standing. As they nod down. You have an appointment with Mr. Moonmeadow?
Oh, I'm so sorry to bother you. I thought this was the residence of Balabar Smenk. I have word for him.
Smenk.
He must hear.
Smenk's just down the road at the other end. You can see his shitty old house over on Asher Road. And he sort of points. Just walk out the east side of town. Walk through, walk all the way through, past in between the, what's the word I'm looking for? Between Tidwodes and the sheriff's office, walk right between them and then make the first left. His house is at the end of that street.
All right, I follow his directions.
So Tidwodes is next to the. You're going the wrong direction, but okay.
Oh,
so
I thought east.
Did I? No. He said the west end, the other side of town. Well, I probably did. I probably did, but I meant west. But if you go through town, go between Tidwodes and the sheriff's, and then make the first left and follow that road all the way down to the end. So right there, you've gone too far. Right there where Renoir is. If you take that left and go down to the end of the road. As you guys move your way, through town, you reach the end of what is a muddy track of road, and you sort of looking upon this old rundown mansion, and there's a large sort of porch leading up into the house, flanked on either side by, not sure what they used to be, some kind of dog or maybe a lion or something, but the porch has statuary that were sitting on stone railings that ran up the steps into the porch, but the statues have long since had their heads and whatnot broken off. But more importantly, outside, you can see that there are several guards standing outside, and as you approach, the guards sort of move in your direction, sort of blocking entry toward or to the house itself. And as you approach, the one guard sort of puts his hand up. You're in the wrong place. You need to be moving along.
Sir, I have word that your master must hear immediately. I'm sorry to come at this late hour, but I have news.
Give me your word. I'll be more than happy to give it to him.
I cannot do that. This is for his ears only.
And you might be...
Regarding his... My name is Mulgar, and this is regarding a friend of his that has disappeared and potential threats on him. I must speak to him.
As the guard looks to each other, and he sort of gives the head nod to one of them, who then disappears into the house, and they just sort of stand there. You can wait right here until we see if Mr. Smenk is taking visitors this evening.
What are they armed with, DM?
Beg your pardon, sir?
What are they armed with, and what kind of equipment do they have?
So each one of them is wearing some sort of maybe a padded leather, a studded type leather. They have swords at their hips, and two of them are utilizing crossbows as they wait.
I don't get a lot of visitors down here, do you?
Mr. Smenk likes his privacy.
Understood.
Instruct Dogatu to go around and smell that guy on the left, just to smell him.
Okay.
I'll be right back, DM, so I can do a bio break before this thing gets froggy.
Roger that, sir.
There's no frogginess. I'm not sure what my plan is, but I've got a plan.
All right. A couple of moments later, door opens up. Guard comes back out, nods his head, and gives kind of like the little okay sign. All right. Follow Charlie. He'll take you to Mr. Smenk.
All right, Charlie.
As you guys step into the house, you can see that the house itself is at one time was well apportioned, but now is sort of disrepair. I don't want to say complete disrepair, but it's obvious that it hasn't had any kind of a cleaning touch on it in quite a while. As soon as he steps in, he takes you in through the main foyer. Coming into a main hall, you can see a large flight of padded stairs going up. And eventually he leads you into a sitting room of some sort. and Balabar Smenk there awaits, sitting on a cushioned divan as the guard sort of takes his leave. That will do, Charlie. Thank you very much. All right, Mr. Smenk, if there's anything you need, just don't forget to holler. And the guard, known as Charlie, sort of leaves for a moment.
Thanks, Charlie. Mr. Smink, I apologize for coming at such a late hour.
Well, I must admit, I'm very surprised. I have heard we had new strangers in town in a woodsland elf, but
Yes.
I have to admit I was taken aback that you would be seen in the likes of that Alliston. Not so nice fellow. You better beware. Keep your fingers in your pockets and on your purses with that one. He'll milk you for every coin you've got. So what is it that you need with me this evening, Mr. Mulgar?
Well,
I have much
do not know
business
if you
to
remember,
attend to.
Several days ago, you did us a favor by your men. We were new in town and at the bar, and your men. It looked like a brawl was about to break out, and you came in and stopped your men from attacking us and potentially killing us. So I figured I owe you one for this. So
Yeah, Cullen says that you paid him a visit. Brought the, how did he put it? The arm of a patriot. He said you brought to him, and said that he was quite upset by the ordeal, but he struck his own bargain with you. And well, Cullen may be a hothead, but he's not a stupid hothead, so I can assume that if he did business with you, you cannot be too bad. So yes, to answer your question, I remember you. What of it?
okay, so what we did? We were recently got some information from a source. I cannot tell you the source's name, but I think your life is in danger. It looks like several of your friends are either dead or been run off by the Dourstones.
As he sort of, what of the Dourstones?
I feel
what do you mean?
that they have killed a friend of yours.
As he sort of,
And another one of your friends is dead or been run off.
and who of my friends was run off, and who was it that was killed?
All I was told is that a very close associate, possibly your right-hand man, was killed, and also the fact that somebody you had summoned from Greyhawk was run off by the Dourstones people.
As he sort of, his eyes kind of go up a little bit. You can see on his face that he is a little surprised, maybe, at the mention of someone that someone he knew that may have died. And then you can see an unmistakable smirk on his face at the mention of Filge getting run off. As he, would you like something to drink, Mr. Mulgar? You and your friends
I am full, thank you.
Oh, please.
We just ate.
I ask that seeing your friends mill around like this makes me a bit nervous. Well, please have a seat, why don't you all? As he offers the other couches and divans.
I'll take a seat.
I direct Doggatoo to get up on the chair.
As Smenk, as Smenk kind of looks over. Could you
too dirty to sit on couch.
I think perhaps I misspoke. I didn't mean for your animals to sit upon my fine divan. If you would please please, could you please get your dog down? Please, I ask it. Could he? Thank you. Yes, please. Enjoy the fire, good doggy. As I'm not sure if did we lose Renoir?
Yes.
I kind of look at Renoir, like give him that kind of confused look that I'm like maybe looking for a little help here. And the Hub, same thing. I kind of elbow Hub, looking for maybe something here.
As he says, So how did you hear about my friend being killed exactly?
We overheard it in a tavern.
Well, it's
And
very difficult to keep such things out.
And I met a stranger. We met a stranger on the trail. He appeared to be kind of the unsavory. He had I know you know the type that strike in the middle of the night. And he was almost bragging about something with a head. I don't know all the details as he was leaving.
So it was not. I do not believe it was Dourstone that was responsible for my man's untimely demise, although Filge has given me the information about your visit with him, so there's no need to play coy with me, Mr. Mulgar. It is obviously we are on equal footing here. However, what you say is partially correct. There is some deeply concerning things unfolding beneath the ground here in Diamond Lake, and I fear that old Dourstone is quite up to his braided beard in it. Quite frankly, I do not know what to make of it. I have seen many things in my life that would turn other men's stomachs, Mr. Mulgar. But I can assure you, you have not seen the things that I have seen in the depths of that mine. Things that would...
Ren will speak up and say... Oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, to be honest, Smenk, we don't really care about you, and we don't really care about your other mine owner friends as well. What we do care about is the possibility of a new undead threat coming from outside your mines or inside your mines.
No.
Do you know anything about this?
About threats from inside my mines? My mines, my good man, are above the water through and through, I assure you. There is nothing in the utmost sort of impropriety, so I don't know where you're getting your information, but I am the miner's mine man, so if everybody were to follow my lead, this place would be a much better place. But old Dourstone, I can assure you, there is something going on beneath the mines in Dourstone. I can assure you that I have seen things down there that would make you, priest, turn white with fear. Your deity is a pittance to the power that I have seen growing down there. Hence why I brought my friend Filge in, because, as I have said, there are few in this world that have seen as much as I have, and I believe that had I been given the opportunity, I would have rectified the situation, but you saw fit to run my man Filge off, and now, of course, I am out that good sum of coin. Thank you very much. Perhaps you would be willing to recompense me for what it cost me to bring him here and attempt to end this threat that might be growing beneath our feet. But we can discuss that in a proper business setting later, when I manage to get my attorney to draw up the proper paperwork for what I believe you should recompense me for that. However,
yeah, you do that.
Oh, I shall. Trust me, my friend. I shall. Are you sure you don't want something to drink? as Balabar stops and he looks down to what Dagatu has done and looks over toward the barbarian. I believe that
Walk over.
your
I
pet.
give him a treat.
I would ask that you please remove that foul beast. Remove that foul beast from my house right now.
What did you just say about my babe?
As he sort of stands up, I believe that we are done discussing here. Please leave.
Sword goes to his throat.
Okay.
One more thing. Biamba, relax.
He is attacking my puppy, and I do not allow that.
Okay, but we need to talk first. Question for you, sir. If I may ask one more question of you. How do we get into Dourstone Mine and we can end this for you, and then you can sue us later?
The mines are, as he looks at the blade going at his throat, and when the blade came up, you could see that his eyes kind of raise a little bit, but then they sort of go back down into a relaxed point, as if he's not really afraid much of... He doesn't have a look of fear that most people may have, particularly normal people. So you get the impression that he's either self-assured, really arrogant, or psychopathic, in that he's not afraid of anything that you may have in your hand. And a second later, as he is discussing that, you hear outside or in the room, "Everything all right here, Mr. Smenk?" And he sort of puts his hand up. "Everything's all right, Jermaine. These gentlemen were just leaving." And he sort of looks toward Mulgar. "Get into the mine anyway. Usually the night shift is a little bit less, shall we say, on alert. During the day, the mine is much busier than at night. But if that is all, I would ask that you leave my house."
Can I gain access through the mine by the observatory?
No. No, you're going to have to go through the front doors of the mines. There's no hidden or back exits that he's aware of.
Okay. Or that he wants to tell me.
I think we've learned what we can learn here.
I think we've done what we can, and I bow and say thank you for your time, sir. But I'm serious about the threat against you. I feel that the Dourstones are plotting against you, so I feel that you should be careful.
So, may I just say, I do not think it is Dourstone that we should all show care about, but those puppet masters that are pulling the Dourstone string.
Ooh, do you care to elaborate as I start to walk out?
There are forces, and as you walk, you can see that the guards from outside are now inside, all of them with hands on blade or knocked crossbow. Whomever is in those mines, I believe somehow has gotten to Old Dourstone, whether through greed or intimidation, but something evil is down there. I worked for some of the most notorious of persons in my life, and trust me when I say I fear what is down there. And so should you.
Well, I thank you very much for your time. Sorry this did not go as well as planned. Larry Curly Moe will be leaving. I tell his three little henchmen.
Would he care to as I'm getting ready to leave, DM, would he care to elaborate at all about these scary things that are in the mine?
I gave one of those things to Filge. It was some sort of a strange worm-like thing, and they were using those things to put into dead bodies that then revived them and created the most hideous and horrendous creatures. I only saw it once, but it was enough for me to never return to that place again.
All right. Well, I'm gonna start walking out the door if nobody else has any questions.
I smile at him and say, "Thank you for your time." And I sniff in the dog shit just as I'm leaving, backing out, just to smush it into the rug, and then turn around and leave.
I'll leave without fanfare.
As you
that went better than expected.
Yep. As you go outside, you see there's about a half a dozen more guards are arriving from various places.
I think we've worn out our welcome.
Yeah, I look at as we leave. I look at the guards and say, "You guys might want to find other employment. There's some bad things about to go down, and it's not us that you have to worry about." And I walk away.
All right. As you guys depart, once again, heading back into the town itself.
See, that guy wasn't a bad guy. He just misunderstood.
He was rude to Doggy.
Yeah, he did kind of poop on his carpet. I can kind of get him.
It's just a little poop.
Well, it seems interesting that he's living in such a dilapidated house and he has so many guards.
It is a little odd, isn't it?
As you guys,
late, isn't it?
So by the time that you guys depart and get back, it is probably close to 11 o'clock at night as you guys return to, I'm assuming you're going to be going back to your home.
Oh yeah, we'll go to our house.
That's probably a good idea. I mean, we're low on, well, somewhat low on health and definitely low.
Yeah, I need some hit points too. So. Okay, let's go to our house. But I think after we stirred up some trouble tonight, we might want to, make sure we got some kind of guard rotation on our house because we could get visitors very easily.
Yeah. Choose up for it.
Okay. Yeah. You guys don't forget the house you're in is Area 32. Modred up there.
I was kind of hoping we'd stir some stuff up, so we'll see if it worked or not. I could see him sending his goons to visit us now.
So go ahead and everybody also just give me a wisdom check, please. Just roll your wisdom. Roll against your wisdom.
My best characteristic.
Yeah, I think he was trying to poison us too. I roll.
I actually made it. Holy crap.
So, as you guys were discussing things with Smenk, you get the impression that he literally was a little bit on edge about whatever it was that's down in Dourstone Mine. You, particularly, Biamba, were very surprised at how nonchalant he was about you putting a sword to his throat. He didn't seem to hardly react at all, as if he had had it done to him before, probably on more than one occasion. So you get the impression, based on what he talked about in his background, that he probably worked in the underworld of some city somewhere or whatever and has seen some serious shit in his day. And so essentially looking at you guys did not think you much of a threat, even though you were threatening with your blade. But whenever he talked about stuff that was down in the mine, you could see that he would look away and have that kind of uneasy feeling or uneasy look on his face, as if whatever was down there was something that he really didn't care to discuss or deal with. And in fact, I'm going to go as far as to say that you get the feeling he was kind of happy that you guys are asking about it, because you guys are providing him a way to not have to go there and deal with it that maybe you guys can. So
sounds like we need to get ourselves down on the Dourstone Mine.
Yeah. Though I'm a little disappointed in Filge. If we find Filge, I'm going to kill him because he was told not to communicate or anything back. So I'm a little disappointed in Filge. He's not on my list. He's going to feel my blade if I ever see that mofo again.
I'm not surprised.
Really quick, Renoir, were you trying to cast a spell, or were you just casting just to look at him?
I was trying to remove one of my spells to change what
okay, gotcha.
would get memorized.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Oh, excuse me. All right. So, by the way, if you guys did not see, if you do the upper left-hand corner, the little arrow that shows a drop-down of maps, you guys actually, I opened up the house so you guys can actually go to the house anytime you want, but I am going to activate the ground floor of the house.
Oh, nice.
But you guys are now able to go to the house whenever you want. And what I'm going to do next, I forgot to do this on the houses, but really quick, let me do this. To take away that. Essentially what I'm doing is I'm removing the need for lighting and stuff like that. So once I do that, it'll open it up so you can see everything at once without having to.
Is there some wood around the place? Is there some trees or something I can get a fire going?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there are shrubs and bushes and small trees that you can go get kindling and stuff. And in fact, there's probably a bunch of broken furniture in here still. You guys have not. And I am going to say it is going to take 250 gold pieces to repair the house and another 200 gold pieces to sort of put the basic furniture in the house. So essentially, let's just call it an even 500 gold to repair the walls and windows and all the structural stuff. And then that'll also include being able to buy furniture and to decorate the house and the bedrooms however you guys want and stuff like that. So otherwise, it's just going to be a ramshackle, sitting on the floor, garbage type house. But it's up to you guys whether you want to renovate or not, but I'm just going to tell you it's going to be a total cost of 500 gold to repair and renovate everything. So
that's all right. I think I have like 4 silver to my name until we split all the loot.
Well, I'd say for now we just treat it like an extended camping site.
Okay, sounds like a plan.
Fire area.
What's that?
I said probably right around this fire area. Keep us warm.
Yeah, I think we should do guard rotations just in case, though.
Yeah, plus the dog, he'll sniff anything out.
Yeah. All right, let's rest. I think we could use some hit points. Then we can formulate a plan. What's next for us?
Did we have the advantage of the bandaging? Did that happen before for some of us? I think you bandaged me in the...
all right, so we're going to have to look at some rulings on that, because if you guys have not been in combat, let's say you do combat today and then you do your bandaging and healing and you get your hit point kind of bonuses, I don't know that should be effective like the next day or whatever. I can see both sides of the story, changing out bandages and stuff like that. So never mind, I stand corrected. But you're going to have to use in order to do it, you're going to have to use one of your uses of a healer's kit, right? Healer's kit gets 10 uses. Exactly. So just make sure you take off a use of the healer's kit per person that you're healing, right? So it's not just one use for everybody. It's one use per person that you're fixing and stuff. So how many people are down hit points that you need to heal?
I think everybody, I think.
Well, yeah, I'm down, but didn't he already do that for us?
Yeah, I did it.
During the
I've
audit?
already done it once today. I don't
Yeah.
know how many times you'll
Yeah,
allow
so
per
I
day.
don't think we can get any additional benefit out of him doing that other than potentially the sleep benefit.
Right,
Okay.
but
You
then
did
when you
bandage
sleep,
this
you
all?
wake up. Yeah, during the combat.
Okay, perfect.
Yep. All right.
Yeah,
So
I think that just means we get an extra hit point when we sleep, but I don't think.
so
we
yeah,
more
so you'll get 2 hit points plus your constitution bonus when you rest. All right.
Yes.
Now when you do a rest in this system, it doesn't give you your hit points back. We have to manually put them back in, but that's beside the point. So are we going to do a long rest then?
I think so.
Yes.
We need it.
Okay.
And
All right.
set up rotational guard.
Okay.
Yep.
So first things first, everybody go into your character sheet, give yourself a long rest. And so Modred is going to get 2 plus 1 plus 1. So Modred is going to get 4 hit points back. So he is actually healed because he's back to his 15. Just go around the horn, and I will start with Biamba. You should get
6. Yeah.
should get 6 back. So 36. Okay. Mulgar, you should get 2 plus
4.
2 is 4, so that puts you at 27.
That works.
Hub, you're maxed out, so you're good to go.
Well, I already did 2 plus 1, DM.
Okay, roger that. Thank you, sir. And plus 2, so Renoir should get 3 back, so that puts Renoir at 23.
Okay.
All right, so that means right now Biamba is down 6 hit points. Mulgar is down 4 hit points. Hub and Modred are maxed, and Renoir, you are down 4 hit points. So you can heal as you want. Do you have any healing for the day before you guys took the long rest? Or did you do the last of them?
I had done the last of them.
Okay.
Any
So
healing at this point would be cutting it these days.
Okay. So if you are going to do any healing for today, then go ahead and do it. I am going to go ahead and move it to sunrise. Why didn't it do that? Oh yeah.
Does anybody need any healing at the start of the day, or are we good for now?
I'm down 4, but I think we're okay.
I'm down 6, but if we get into combat.
All right, let's try that again. Sorry.
Yeah, so we'll wait till combat in case we need them then.
All right.
Sounds like we're all in okay shape.
All right.
What's our plan?
Yeah, I was going to say, so it is, as you guys take your long rest, you are undeterred. However, what I want to do before we go any further is I am going to make a note. What is a normal watch rotation? And what order are we going to take it? And this is going to be the standard order unless you tell me different or somebody's missing. We'll readdress it. I would like to do some of these things right now before I forget. Things like, this is the order of we take on watches. This is the order that we march down the hallways. This is the order that we take 2 by 2. This is our, you know what I mean? I want to get those set. And that is what I'm going to use from now on, pending anybody making any changes. So let's start first. Who is normally going to take the first watch? I'll say that Modred is probably going to want to take the last watch because magic users like their sleep so they can study. Or, yeah, because he can't study while he's on and stand watch at the same time. So
maybe the cleric first?
Yeah, I'll do it.
First.
I'll go first.
Okay.
I figure I'll take the middle. Me and Hub should take the kind of middle towards the end when it's still dark, so we both have infravision.
Okay. So that
And
would.
Biamba, do you mind going next?
Nope, not at all.
So then it's either going to be Hub or Mulgar. Who wants to take the first of the two?
I'll take the first. I'll take the middle.
Okay. And then Hub, and then Modred. That way Modred can do his studying and stuff like that and have his spells ready, and he can just stand watch. All right. So what about order in a single file? Who is going to take the lead? Is that going to be Hub up front, kind of poking and prodding and triggering the traps? Or
I think only if we specifically say that we have somebody going ahead to do traps. I think otherwise it's probably me. I think I'm the one best set to tank.
Okay. I was going to say, so usually, if you want to, do we want to discuss or talk about elves and halflings being 90 feet in front to silently, so they, etc., or do we even care about that? Are you guys ever going to have somebody that's?
Biamba
We'll come. We'll.
that.
Yeah, I was gonna say we will. Yeah, okay. So we'll cross that bridge when it comes. So, so for right now, unless otherwise somebody's out ahead scouting or something, this is the order that we're gonna go single file. So Renoir. Okay. I'm
And
assuming.
Mulgar will go next.
I was gonna say you can be Mulgar. I'm gonna put Modred in the middle.
Actually, Renoir, do you want to go behind me? I know you got a better armor class, but you're our healer. Do you really want to be in front?
It's up to you. I just pointed it out because I'm set up to tank, and I'm not sure how good you are for armor class. But what
Well, I've got infravision too. I'll go first. I'll be first.
Okay.
I know you got a better armor class, but I can see in the dark, and I'd prefer you to be able to heal us when I fall in the pit.
Fair enough.
Or get hit by the arrows.
So Mulgar, Renoir, Modred, and then so it's either going to be Biamba or Hub.
Hub do a great job last.
Okay, so we'll do Biamba and Hub.
Unless you want to attack from behind DM, then put Biamba back there.
All right. Another thing that I want to mention as far as infravision and stuff like that, and just so you're aware, any heat-giving light, like torches and lanterns, ruins infravision. So, so if now Modred has a ever-burning torch that he's got on top of as part of his staff that he covers up, but that does not affect your infravision because that's a magical light. That is not natural torchlight or whatever. So, just so you know.
I guess that's another reason for me to go second because then I'm next to the magical torch.
Yep. All right. So what about 2x2? Do we have a particular who's up front? Who's next? Shorty up front.
I'll go in position 1.
Yep, and I'll go position 2, and then probably the mage behind us, and then the 2 rear guys behind the mage.
Okay. Just kind of that way, yeah. It's just so we kind of shift everybody up.
Unless there's a dragon, and then I'm going to run away very fast.
All right. So that's enough for me.
I can run faster.
Yep. Yep. I don't have to run fast, just faster than you. All right.
Exactly.
So this is our watches. I apologize for kind of taking us time to do it, but it's not something that we had discussed before and some things that I thought we should. So single order, double order. All right, cool. All right, I won't take any more time. So as you guys, as I said, you spend the evening sort of recuperating, relaxing. In the morning, the priest of Tritherion calls out to his beloved father and calls down the healing upon you. I assume he doesn't have to if he doesn't want to, but I'm assuming that he does. But yeah, so nothing came out of the woodwork. Apparently you guys have managed to clear out the house. And while there is creaks and groans from the wind outside, Mulgar's fire keeps you guys toasty warm in this interior of the camp house. And in the morning you awake to light filtering dimly through the dirt-encrusted windows with the ratty, tattered remnants of heavy wool curtains still hanging in place in some spots. But what do we want to do today?
Well, do you guys think we should just go investigate that mine?
Well, from
Which
what we
mine?
heard, I think the Dourstone. I think what we heard several times is the way to sneak in is night, which of course now it's day. But having said that, I guess the question becomes: do we try to talk to the owner of the Dourstone to see if he'll let us in to try to fix stuff? That's assuming he has nothing to do with it, or do we try to sneak in at night?
Well, he might pay us to go in there and solve his problem if there's a problem in there.
Yep, that's assuming
Okay, let's
he's
go
not
march up to the door.
somehow complicit, but sure, we'll find out.
Yeah, let's go north. Let's go ask. Let's go ask. I've got no issue asking. Because before we sneak in, though, we're gonna want to wait till our mage is back with us. Because what I'm thinking is he could probably sleep some of the guards, and we could sneak in. But let's go ask. It doesn't hurt. Knock on the door.
That's a good idea.
Why sneak around when you can go full frontal?
Exactly.
That's
all
assuming
right.
we know where he's at, right?
Should we throw Balabar under the bus or not? Like say, hey, Balabar sent us.
Oh yeah. Oh, totally, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so he'll see us.
I'll let you guys handle the duplicity.
Actually,
Okay.
I wanted to.
All right.
Let's do this first.
I got no issue. I'm just gonna stroll on up.
So, as you guys have come to find out, the Dourstone Mine is along the company road on the way uptown toward the Whispering Cairn. So, way over here at the area 31 is where the mines are, and then the Dourstone residence is like right down the street from it.
Okay, well, let's start heading to the mines and see if anybody says anything to us.
Okay.
I ain't afraid. Till the archers rain down on us, then I'm afraid.
DM, what's that weird object on House 34?
That is actually the observatory. So that's where you guys fought the necromancer. So that weird thing is actually, if you look at it, it's actually the opening of an observatory where an old telescope used to point out, but the telescope's no longer in use.
Gotcha.
So if you really zoom in on it, you can see it looks like it actually looks like a telescope poking out, but in actuality, when you get there, the telescope is not there. So, all right, you guys make your way in the early morning hours toward the Dourstone Mine. It's probably maybe 7 o'clock in the morning as you guys arrive. You can see that there is a gate right there. Oops. And the main road continues along the way out of town as the one road comes down to the essentially what is the Dourstone encampment. The heavy, thick timbers line all the way around the mine entry area. You can see that there are, even through some of the gaps in the wood, you can see the interior of the camp itself. You hear movement, you hear men shouting, you hear the crinking and creaking of ore carts going in and out of the mine. Although you cannot see a decent view of the entry of the mine, you can see that there's this huge rock hill, and you can tell that the mine is built into the hill. On the other side of the wall, you can see there are a couple of structures one looks to be maybe an office, the other a large barracks, and you can see also at the corners of the establishment or of the encampment are towers, and then up in each tower, you can see what appears to be a dwarf manning a large ballista, sort of pointing in your direction. At least the one is. And as I said, you can hear shouts and stuff of miners and foremen and what calling men to get this, that done. And says, let's go. We got a quota to make today. No laziness, boys. And as you are there, the main gate opens and you can see probably a dozen or so or more miners, weary, sweaty, clothes sort of covered in ore dust and dirt and muck, as they sort of clapping each other on the back and sort of smiling. Good night work today, boys. Let's go get us something to drink over at the Dog. What do you think? Nah, I'm going to the Bucket. Got the best, well, I like to say fish, but I don't really think it's fish, but he likes to cook it like it's fish. But anyway, I'm going to go get it because that's my favorite breakfast in the mornings. See you tomorrow, guys. And some of them begin to split off as they're filtering their way through the main gate. As you're standing there, several guards sort of appear, giving you the eye, as one sort of meets up, steps out and looks. If you're looking for work, we ain't got no open positions right now, fellas. I'm sorry. Mine's full. Maybe Mr. Dourstone will be hiring a little later in the spring, but wintertime is kind of difficult to move product. So during the late spring and summer months, we tend to bring on more guys. But if you're willing to leave your names, I'm sure that he'll be getting back with you.
Excellent you say that. We are actually here to see Mr. Dourstone.
Well, he's in the mines right now. If perhaps I could take him a message, I could leave it for you and where you'll be staying, and he can send someone to fetch you whenever he's ready to hold an audience.
Well, we just had a meeting with Mr. Balabar Smenk, and
why would you do that? Okay, well then I'm sorry to tell you, you're going to have to come back later. He's doing his work, walking through the mines as he usually does every morning to check what was done last night. But I be sure to tell him that you're waiting for him wherever it is you're going to be waiting for him. Thank you very much. And he sort of turns.
How long do you think it'll take?
Oh, I don't know. Usually he's in the mine for a couple hours or so.
Okay.
But let him know that we've heard his mine has an infestation and we're exterminators. And if he needs some help with extermination, we're willing to help him.
Sean, how high is that hill?
Maybe
good or bad.
20 feet up or so.
So just kind of taking a quick peek up there. If we came up from behind, not now, but at night, do I think we could scale down that cliff face pretty easy?
Going down the cliff face would be easy for someone of the roguish persuasion. Anybody else, it's kind of steep and rocky, so maybe. But looking at it, if you were to slip or something or to give way, that's a lot of rocks to land on.
Okay. All right.
All right. I think we know why we didn't find anybody last night at the bar, because they work at night. So
as the
information from the miners.
As the dwarf the dwarf walks through the gate, which, by the way, I'm sorry, I should have mentioned all these guards that you guys interact with. Every one of them is dwarf. As he sort of twirls his hand in the air, and all of a sudden you hear a cranking sound, and the gate closes, and the The guard leaves you to your own devices as they go about their own business.
Shift was leaving.
Yeah, I think we try going back to the Rusty Bucket. That or the guard to have breakfast.
Hey, Excel. Appreciate you. You guys want to do?
What do you guys think? The Rusty Bucket or the Gar? Or do you want to do something else?
I'm thinking he didn't even take our name, so he doesn't even know who to tell this guy Balabar that came to call him.
Yeah, and I don't think we're getting in there without a fight. We need some kind of a pass to get in there. I don't think we're getting in there.
Yep. Did you guys want to talk to the miners then?
Yeah, we can go meet the dwarves in the bar.
If that lead
Yeah,
guy
that's
was any
kinda what I'm
indication,
thinking.
we're not going to get shit out of them guys.
So the miners that came out, interestingly, while the guards during the day here look to be almost all, if not all, dwarven, the miners that came out, the vast majority were more human. There were a couple dwarves smattered in, but a large majority of them were human. And while the gate was open, you could see the mine tracks where they were pushing cart ores in and out. Those were dwarves as well. Looked like maybe one human amongst. So it's almost like dwarves work the mines during the day, humans more at night, maybe.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's worth talking to them because I think that these guys, if they're not actually part of the family getting the profit from it, if there's something killing them down there, they're gonna not be too happy about that.
How far ahead are they? The guys that left the mine, how far are they? They're well ahead of us?
Yeah, well, no, easily catch. They're like, what, 5 minutes? It's only been like a few minutes.
Offer to buy them a drink?
Yeah, why not?
Good way to start things out.
All right, I'm going to give chase. I'm assuming they went west?
Yeah, they're heading back toward Diamond Lake, so.
Okay, I'm going to give chase, and when I get close, I don't want them attacking me thinking I'm going to attack them. I want to yell, excuse me, sir, excuse me.
As you approach they're sort of chit-chatting on their way, apparently heading back to town. And he sort of stops and looks around and like, who, what? And, oh, yes, sir. Can I help you? And a small group of them. Well, hard working enough, aye. Who says so?
I'd like to buy you a drink.
Hey, look. What's the catch? Ain't no elf gonna come around here and just start buying people what he don't know drinks.
I'm confused by that, but actually, I happen to. I'm not a man of money. I don't believe in money. I don't have any need for money, and I happen to have a little extra money. And I just saw you guys look hardworking. I thought I'd buy you a drink. But if you don't want a drink, I understand.
No, I never said I didn't want a drink. No, sir. No, sure. Okay, you want to buy me a drink? Okay, all right. No need to twist my arm. Hey, let's go. Me and the boys.
What's your bar of choice?
Oh, no, it's the same. We're going to have breakfast. We usually have an ale with my meat and sausages over there at the Rusty Bucket.
Rusty Bucket it is. My treat. Let's go.
Go.
All right. And as you guys head to the Rusty Bucket, yeah, you can just sort of drag yourself across the map if you want to go back
What was the
over.
Rusty Bucket again? I'm sorry.
25, number 25, sir. Building number 25. All right. So, as you guys all if you ain't never been here before, let me tell you, Keegler can be a pain in the ass. So don't get him riled up. Don't be talking nothing about mines get took over and people buying this and people buying that and whatnot, because he ain't going to have none of it, and he'll have all of our asses, and then he'll charge us 3 times the normal price, right? As you guys all stomp your way into the Rusty Bucket. And that is where we are going to take our break, my children.
Alrighty.
I'm not going to get to use my nat 20 today. I can feel it already.
Oh, I don't know. We can try to let it use your nat 20, but yeah, we will. For those
that start a fight at least twice, and it hasn't worked.
Yes, you have. It didn't work.
To your point, you have. That is true. But we're going to be back in about 15 minutes. Hopefully you guys will hang with us as our party tries to determine how the hell to get into the mines and what they can do and blah, blah, blah. In the meantime, I'm going to go refill my drink. You should too. Don't forget to get yourself a snack, and we'll see you when we get back. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you.
See you in a few.
All right. Where were we? Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Hope you guys had a decent enough break. I cut it just a couple seconds early because I didn't want a new song to spin up and just have to end it right in the middle. Appreciate you guys hanging with us and coming back to us. How many of you guys are double dipping? Just out of curiosity. This is weird. I'm looking at my activity feed and it's like empty. So let's just go ahead and get rid of it. And can we? Trying to see why my stream is like crunched down in my. Weird, man. Totally weird. Yep. That, and can we move this? I can't even move out the chat, man. It's kind of bizarre. It's like it lets me put it in here, but it won't let me expand it out. There we go. Will that do it? There we go. Now it's letting me expand. It's weird, man. Anyway, technical difficulties, and I tend to get sidetracked really easy. But welcome back, everybody. Appreciate you hanging with us tonight. I'm Sean, your host. We are back as our party is continuing to explore Diamond Lake and the region and figure out what is going on in town. They have just gone and investigated, or at least took a look at the Dourstone Mines, let old Dourstone know that they were looking for him for some strange reason. Guard said he let him know, but Guard never took their names, which was interesting. But the party decided that they were going to chase down the off-going shift. And while many of the miners head to their homes or to their barracks or whatever it is that they are staying at, some of them have headed their way into town or on the edges of town to the Rusty Bucket. Rusty Bucket being a restaurant along the edges of the Diamond Lake itself, once known for its fish ensemble when it came to food, now serving more of a land fare since the Diamond Lake fish are probably not something that you really want to be digging out and eating, at least not on a large scale, maybe. Who knows? But anyway, as you guys step into the rust, is everybody back, by the way? Is we missing anybody?
Got my foot.
Yep.
Hub's got.
I'm not here.
Okay, good, because you're being a pain in my ass. So Hub has got his feet all brushed with bells and bows on, and Doggatoo has run off, never to be seen again. So anyway, you guys find yourself at the Rusty Bucket, joining 4 or 5 miners as they enter in, stomping their feet to remove muck and grime and the remnants of slushy snow, muddy roads as they step into the tavern, or the restaurant, I should say, as they hail out, "Eagler, what's the special for today, boy?" "Same special as was yesterday. Eggs and meat, sausage, some potatoes, and some ale. If you want anything else, maybe you should go and try the Emporium. They seem to have a better hold on what stocks and things coming in and out of town as those of us that have been here our entire lives can do. But maybe someday you bastards will pay a proper price for breakfast and I can make enough coin to buy proper food to make a proper breakfast." And he turns and disappears back to the kitchen, as you can hear a chef as well as others in there cooking up the breakfast. Finding yourself a long table at that, they scooch a couple of them together to provide room for enough for everybody as they sit. "So then, why is it that you're wanting to have breakfast with nobody miners like us?" As he the speaking fellow sort of waves his hand and points to his fellow miners who have joined you guys at the table.
Well, to be honest with you, I don't know much about mines. I'm more of a wood folk myself, but I've always been interested in mines. I've always been interested in exploring them. Just always interested in a miner's perspective.
For an elf, that's sort of a strange dream, would not you say?
That is strange. I have been called a strange elf before on many occasions. Some by my friends here.
He's a strange elf. Oh, that's for sure.
And what about you, little one? What brings you to our fair corner of the world? Did you leave Elmshire in your wake, or where is it you hail from? As he sort of looks toward the impeccably groomed hub.
Oh, I'm from the big city, but being how I'm out here in town, I thought, why not? Who knows what's in there? There might be some neat bats, or who knows what might be in, these big holes in the ground.
I can tell you there's a lot of rock, if that's what you're looking for. If you're wanting rock, then a mine is the place to go. Not so many bats in these mines, but mostly copper, the occasional silver, and never myself have seen it, but they say somewhere in the Cairn Hills there's actually gold. But I'm no dwarf, so I wouldn't know exactly what's what.
How deep does a mine like that go? I'm just wondering if that's.
Well, ours is. We got a couple of levels. It's been in my operation for a few years, but it's slow going. It's not like we're a nation of dwarves that's all they do is chew and spit out rock. And they sort of all laugh at whatever joke that was supposed to be. But it's not too deep. I think the second level is maybe 10 to 20 feet below the first level. And then
how about the third level?
There's no third level, or I don't know what you're talking about. And one of the other guys goes, "But what about Durgans?" And they go, "Shut up. There ain't no third level that I'm aware of. At least not in our mine, anyway."
What's Durgis? What's Durgis? I don't understand. Sorry, enlighten me. I don't understand.
Nothing. That's just stupid. See, Brennan, I told you to shut up. You don't talk, because when you talk, you say stupid shit that gets people in trouble. But never mind. All right.
No, this is just between friends. We're just friends talking. This is nothing. We're just friends having a meal together. I'm interested. I need to learn.
Uh-huh. All right. We are going to give you an opportunity. Give me a D100 roll, please, and add your reaction adjustment to it.
My reaction adjustment is 0.
Okay.
Well, that makes it easier.
Yeah. All right. As he sort of leans in, I don't know why you're asking this, but old Durgis Dourstone can go fuck himself. He's got something that he's got going on down there. He says he's exploring down there. Takes some of his dwarven boys with him every so often to go down and investigate. They say they're trying to look for a new vein, but they ain't found nothing yet. But he's got his boys got the whole place roped off. Won't let nobody through. Miners or nobody except old Dourstone and whomever's with him. They say some of the night boys go down there, but I ain't working all night, so I ain't never back there to see.
Have you ever heard of anybody getting hurt down there?
I'm sorry, what'd you say, Renoir?
I was asking if you had heard of anybody getting hurt down there.
Hurt? No, I keeps to myself. We keeps to ourselves, don't we, boys? And they're all like, oh yeah. Yep. Old Dourstone made it perfectly clear that whatever mine he's working down there, whatever vein he's got going on, that's his business and his alone. He owns me. Ergo, I do what the boss says.
I heard he's kind of an unpleasant man. Okay, sorry.
Say that again.
What do you mean by he owns you?
Well, just so happens a lot of us was over there. You seen the garrison over there? That nice tall building with all the soldiers out there playing all warlike and stuff. Most of us was probably going to be in that jail if it weren't for old Dourstone buying out our servitude. And in turn, that we serve in the mines, we get a relative respite. We're able to come and have breakfast and dinner, and then it's back to the mines we go. But if it weren't for that, we'd be breaking hard rocks over there somewhere. And I'd much rather be breaking rocks there, making at least a little bit of coin than breaking rocks for no reason. See old Bancroft over there? He was caught loitering. Got himself a year of hard labor. Of course, apparently loitering without one's clothes on to the mayor's wife is not something you're supposed to be loitering with. You can see old Burley 9 Lives there. Burley 9 Lives is got 8 of his lives took away from charges and burglary. And that 8th burglary, they said the 9th one was going to be his last one. So here he was waiting for his time to be done, and he got it bought out. And of course, greedy Tony over there, he decided that somebody in the dwarf community owed him a little money, and he went to collect. Unfortunately, that dwarf was in the middle of his service over at that new temple down the road. And apparently, the new priest over there did not appreciate the unsanctimonious words that were used during the services, especially discussing priests of a dwarfly nature. And so
I'm sorry.
and so apparently old greedy Tony started himself his very own riot through one of the services and did not endear himself to the local authorities, if you might catch my drift. And so all of us here, in one way, shape, or another, are here because we are, in fact, owned by that weasel son of a bitch, Dourstone. And they all sort of spit on the floor as he says his name. Obviously, they all have a disdain or at least a heavy dislike for Mr. Dourstone.
Yeah, he sure does have that a lot of guards for just a mine. Seems odd to me.
Oh, his guards run the show. His guards are the ones what keep the workers working and the ore flowing. Right sons of bitches they are too. A bunch of dregs and scalawags that he hired off the street. Give them a little bit of power, tell them they got a little bit of control, goes right to their heads.
How would you like to stick it to him a little? Maybe let us into the mine.
Kind of look. Why? What you need in that mine? I mean, supposing that maybe that could be arranged. What is it that we'd be looking for? We'd be like we have
something dangerous down on the 3rd level. Something that might be dangerous to all of you.
What kind of?
Like to go
what kind of danger?
Green worms.
The undead kind.
As he sort of makes the holy symbol of, which is the usual to ward off evil and whatnot, is undead. Ain't nobody foolish enough to go down there doing nothing with no undead. But if you want to go see for yourself, I suppose me and the boys might be able to look the other way if worst case were to come to it. There ain't got to be no fighting or killing or nothing on our part, right?
Nope, we just want to get in unnoticed.
Well, you get into the mine, we can get you to where you need to be unnoticed, but you got to get into the mine around the guards first. Well, ain't nothing we can do about that. They're always patrolling the grounds outside the mine. Once you're in the mine, it's pretty dark and shadowy. We can usually hide folk this and that from the foreman or whatnot, or any of the guards that might come walking through. But
That
Aye.
rocky hill just above the mine, does it have guards as well?
Yeah, no, nobody mind. It's just all rock and nothing up there.
If we scaled down, we could get into mine without being seen.
Well, you'd have to scale down without being seen, and those guard towers at a perfect height to look at that hill. So you'd have to sneak in and hope you're not seen climbing down. And to his
Lights up
point,
there?
no, there's no lights on the hill. But to his point, it is wide open. If you were to be climbing down the rock, you would be wide open. And if somebody were looking that direction, they would see you scaling down. So it is definitely possible to sneak down, it being dark. There are no like floodlights anywhere, right? It's just guards and what they can see. But
Well, I
yeah,
don't think we need to scale down. I think we just need to jump off
It's 20 feet.
one at a time with the ring of feather falling.
Yeah, but getting it back up each and every time, it's going to take forever. Whoa.
roll me a wisdom check, please, Renoir. Actually, no, Biamba.
Frick, you always give me
Dang,
the
I've
wisdom
been found
check. I
out.
hate this. The wisdom check sucks for me. I get lucky every once in a while. Oh, see, I got lucky.
Nice.
So, Biamba, you recall that when you guys used the Ring of Featherfall, this huge explosion of feathers went everywhere just as you landed.
Oh, right. And I remind everybody of
yeah,
the
I forgot
feathers.
that.
Unless you want to make some pillows, I mean, I don't understand why else to use the ring.
Yep, that wouldn't work so
Hmm.
well.
But what if the mage could make magic shadow over top? Oh my god, I can't believe I said that. Ah, he starts hitting himself in the head.
As you do, like the old Catholic priests or monks used to do, and you take the cat of nine tails and whip yourself with it.
Yeah, bad
You idiot!
barbarian, bad barbarian.
So yes, sure you'll get into the mine. We can get you where you need to be, son, but getting into the mine is no small feat.
Is there any way to sneak in with you with shift change? Or are they too good at looking at who's coming in?
They don't really pay much attention to who's coming in, but you have to be wearing miner's clothes and whatnot. Otherwise, you're as he sort of looks at each one of you, you're going to stand out like sore thumbs. Especially you, and he points to Mulgar. And you, and he points to Hub. Most every miner is human or dwarf.
What if we were to build a rabbit, a wooden rabbit, and hide inside?
Well, I can just deliver. I can be a water boy. Miners get thirsty.
That is a true story.
Looking
They
at
do
the
have
minor
a.
clothing, is it-
Sorry, they do have a. There is a well in the center of the compound where whomever is designated goes and gets pitchers of water to bring to the mines. However, that being said, he does agree that Hub, you could probably come in and be the one that they say, hey, he got hired today as a designated water boy, and then you would be the one running the water from said well to the miners. So that would be a way that you could get in that he thinks would be a way. But you wouldn't be able to bring your equipment like you're wearing now. You'd have to wear, and they are wearing normal clothing. Heavy shirts that have like super thick padding, or not padding, but like quilt type patchwork over the joints and stuff, to where you might bump up against rock with your elbows and stuff. So to make it much more resistant to tear, more leather than straight cloth, but it is a heavy cloth. And then they have like leather kind of overalls that kind of goes over that, as well as heavy boots. Most of them have some sort of a hard hat. And they also have a large pouch at their side that has a mask of some sort in it that aids them from either fumes or dust particles when they're chipping away and stuff like that. So it's just typical miner gear. But it would definitely would not. You can get all of this stuff at the trade store. The trading post sells all of this gear, but it probably would not fit over your armor or anything like that, right? So, and when they go,
feel better, honey.
And when they go in and out,
better, honey. Get some sleep. We're not gonna wake you in the morning, honey. Okay. Okay. Good night. I love you, honey.
Well, that sucks. I don't want to have to get up in the morning either. You're going to come and give me a tuck me in when I go to bed? It's not fair, Mulgar.
Thinking about it. Yeah. My 11-year-old's a little sick.
Yeah, it's going around, man. A lot of people got it.
Yeah, it is.
So definitely whatever they're wearing would not fit over your armor. And you do note that when they ship change, none of them were carrying like big bags or backpacks. So it's not like you could even stuff all of your stuff into a bag of some kind, right? Your weapons, definitely not. So you wouldn't be able to bring your swords or any of your other blades or anything like that. So it's definitely a little bit of a conundrum, right?
But what if we put them in a bag and somehow tossed them down the cliff and then picked them up on the way inside after we pass through the gate?
Fair point. Definitely a fair point. Do you guys tell me as you guys are sitting, the Keegler, the proprietor, comes by dropping off plates of freshly scrambled eggs with pork sausages, other small meats and potatoes kind of tossed in, bread to small loaves of bread to split up amongst yourselves to sop up any of the grease and whatnot from said plates, along with mugs of ale. Just the perfect hint of flavoring to start your morning as he goes back to his duties at the bar, getting things ready for the daily clientele. What else do we want to discuss? Anything?
Just ask when we should probably meet them and where at inside the mine.
Yeah, I think that's what we need to know now. Then we got to figure out a strategy.
Well, Jackson here, as he sort of points to the fellow near him, sort of wiry and like has very narrow eyes that are like set close together as he kind of looks up, like somebody looking over a pair of glasses. He kind of looks up like caught by surprise with a piece of bread that's sopping with sauces and grease on it. He sort of goes to bite into it, the green and yellow of his teeth showing as he rips the bread and chews. What's Jackson got to do with it? Jackson ain't gonna try to get himself killed by no guards with a stiff blade in his back. I could tell you that. For sure. It's like, look, Jackson, why are you here? Well, just like the rest of y'all, I got myself in a little bit of trouble, is all. What kind of trouble did you get yourself in, Jackson? Look, it weren't my fault. I caught the fish fair and square. Did you have a license for the fish? No. And what did you do with the fish, Jackson? Well, the guard tried to took it from me. And what did you do with the fish, Jackson? I slapped him with it. So you went to jail for a fish slap on a guard, did you? Well, I suppose in a technical sense you could say I did that, yeah? So you're telling me that you're willing to slap a guard with a fish and take a blade to the gut, but you ain't going to do this for a little bit of coin and to get back at old Grizzard? All right, I'm in. And he goes back to eating his bread and his meal. So Jackson, he runs the carts up and down. He pushes the carts up and down. So I figure we could get whatever gear you're needing into the cart and cover it up a little bit, move it into the mines themselves, and you can unpack and get your gear inside that way. All right. See you in a minute, Hub.
So that's a good idea. We go at a certain time. We put all our weapons in one bag, drop it down. Old Jackson there takes it, put it in a mine cart, and takes it inside. And then we come through the gate with shift change.
Well, now Jackson's going to be with us on the shift change.
Well, he can pick it up on the way in then.
Well, where's it going to be? You can't just drop it down there while the other shift is there. They're going to see it and report it. So,
You guys carry bags of tools?
No. All the stuff that we get are picks and everything else. This is it. And he sort of lifts up the little pouch that's got, or the bag that's got the mask in it. So
Okay.
somebody's going to have to lower it after we're already all inside. So somebody is going to have to, you're going to have to stash your gear way ahead of time without being seen. Then we're going to have to enter shift change right at nightfall. We'll go in, and then someone's going to have to lower that gear down so Jackson can get it, and then that person's going to have to join us. So however you figure that out, you figure out that logistic, and then we got ourselves a deal. For a price,
Okay.
of course.
Yeah, of course.
Hub can't easily sneak in, so maybe he lowers the gear down, and he's got the ability to climb down the rocks, potentially.
So does Biamba. Biamba's got to
We
climb.
don't.
Yeah. I could try to sneak down the rocks. I've got the climb stuff. I've got the hide natural surrounding.
That's true. Yep.
My hide natural surrounding is not so high though.
Yeah, the only reason why I suggested is because I thought Hub would have trouble kind of passing as a miner, but
Does
Right,
Molten
but-
have invisibility?
He does not. He does not have third level spells.
Oh, I thought it was a second level spell.
You might be right. Maybe he does have invisibility. Hang on. That would be kind of interesting, wouldn't it? Let me double check his character here really quick.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure on second level, but I'll double check.
I think you're right. I was thinking it was Fireball. No, just kidding.
Well, that's actually a good idea too. That'll help us. Yes,
Yeah, we can stand on that cliff and fireball them.
So he has some things that he has that can help. He has Disguise Self. He has Charm Person.
Ooh.
And he has Sleep. Those are the only spells that he really has that would do. And he does have Unseen Servant.
Does an unseen servant
could
fly?
Carry the weapon.
No, Unseen Servant doesn't fly, but it does. I mean, Unseen Servants can. I don't know if there's a weight limit on
Open
what they
doors
can.
and unlock gates.
Yep, they do that. I don't know that it has a strength that's strong enough to lower something heavy like all of your armor and weapons and stuff. So, but yeah, that's mostly what he's got. Those are the only spells really that he's got. I don't think he has. I mean, he's got Scare, but I don't know if that would do any good. If you guys don't want to send him off screaming. So, yeah. So it doesn't really look like he has a lot other than, like I said, Disguise Self could help. So I know what I would try if I was a player, but I'm not going to even suggest that. So, but anyway.
Oh. Does the unseen servant have the ability to just walk straight down the cliff?
I'm going to say yes, they can because it's like an incorporeal kind of a thing. But like I said, I don't think it's strong enough that it can like pick up and carry all of your
Carry
gear.
it up.
Yeah, it can carry. It says lightweight items, a maximum of 200 gold pieces of weight suspended.
Yeah, it's like 20 pounds. Yeah.
It'd have to be like many trips of one weapon at a time or something like that. Yeah.
Here's a wild idea. Wait, I don't tell them in front of the guys if they're still here, but what I'm thinking is there's a house there. We could maybe a little fire starts at the house. I wonder if the guards react to it.
Which house are you talking about?
The house of the guy that owns it.
Oh,
Isn't there a
yeah.
house right next to the mine?
Yeah. Dourstone's a howl. That is correct.
Yeah.
That, hey, a distraction to get in for sure.
Yeah, because I'm thinking if like he's probably got a shed or something. If the shed were to accidentally catch fire, I'm fairly confident at least probably most of the guards will run to try to put it out. That's their boss.
Yeah, as long as we
And
do
then we just
something, not the house, but maybe the shed. You don't want to accidentally kill somebody. I think at this point there's a possibility that if we get caught, they won't try to kill us potentially. Particularly if we kill some of these undead, but if we burn down the house and kill his wife or something, whoops.
I don't know. It's just ideas here. Oh, do we know what the? I have a question for you. Do we know what he looks like? Dourstone looks like?
No, you've never seen him before.
Damn. I was thinking with the disguise spell, could he disguise himself as Dourstone? That would work. Too.
Yes, he could. He can make himself appear to be 1 foot taller or 1 foot shorter. So Dourstone, if he were to be 4.5 foot tall, as long as you were no more than 5.5 foot tall to 3.5 foot tall, you would be able to make yourself look like him. Maybe not a perfect replica, but something similar.
I'm all for trying that. Try just go bold. Go have him cast a spell. Go in as a disguise of Dourstone, and we're his new workers or new bodyguards or new whatever, and just walk in like we own the place.
Yep, that might work.
That is definitely an idea.
It may not be a good one, but it's an idea.
And then as a backup, you always have sleep.
Yeah. I say go bold because what I'm worried about is, and not, I don't say it in front of these guys is, okay, so we take off our weapons, and what if one of these guys decides he doesn't want to give us back our stuff? Then we're gonna fight on our hands without equipment, and I'm not sure that's what we want to do. Then the guards are shooting at us, and we got no armor, no weapons.
Other things that you can consider as well is all and the gates and everything are made of timber and wood. So maybe finding a spot out of the way in the wood and finding a way to get through that way, kind of like breaching a fence where nobody's looking and crawling through and sneaking in. But again, that requires people to sneak and not be heard. So there's very many options and stuff that you guys have that you can go by. The disguise self would definitely work, but you're going to have to figure out what does Dourstone look like, how tall and big is he, because the spell will only let you go up or down a foot, and it'll let you make changes to your appearance, but you can't change your type. Like it cannot make a humanoid into something else, like a dragon, or look like something like that, right? They have to remain humanoid in that sense. And so you would have to maintain that look of this is about what they look like. So.
And if we want to sneak through the gate, do you have a silence spell, Runlar?
Let me check. Actually, I do. I know I do. I don't have it. Yeah, actually, I think I even got it. I think I even got it memorized.
That takes away some of the
I do,
sneaking.
and yeah, silence 15 radius. I got it memorized, even. So if we wanted to start cutting through some fancy fence and keep it so that nobody could hear us doing it, then I suppose I could cast silence 15 radius. That's actually a good idea, because that was my problem with that plan, was they're going to hear us cutting through a wood stockade fence. But yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. We got ideas. I just don't know which one's the best idea.
Back with us,
I
Hub.
think the one where we cut through the fence and then unknown.
I am.
Cool.
Keep it silent. That seems pretty good.
Okay. I'm not sure if you caught much of the conversation or how much you may have missed, Hub, but we are trying to determine what's the best way to sneak in. The guard or the miners has already said that they're willing to provide you at least a little bit of aid with regards if you get into the mines, but there's no way they can really help you much to get into the mines outside of what was discussed earlier about Jackson being one of the ones that pushes the carts of ore out and then the empty carts back into the mine. If you were to have someone put all of your gear in a bag and drop it down, he could bring it in, but that would mean you guys would go in unarmed and then trust that these miners are going to get you your gear once you're in the mines. But somebody would have to get it from the top of the hill down into the mine thing. So that was sort of the issue that we were discussing. But
DM, is there any chance you could put on the map screen the mine location that we were on a minute ago?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Just for planning purposes.
Yep. Let me.
Ooh, nice.
What's nice? What do I do now?
Yeah, it seems like the least visible spot is right there in that corner.
Yeah, and I'm looking at the spell silence, so we can actually cast it on a thing. So we could cast it on like a coin, right? Keep it silent 15 feet around us, and then we could carry it into the mines so they wouldn't hear us sneaking for all us armored folks.
We just got to worry about being seen, but yeah, we would not be heard.
Well, we'd be well out. If we did this at night, we're well beyond that vision. Of course, I don't know how well, they might have torches all over, but I would guess that spot right there is probably going to be a little bit dark.
Which one? What spot? I don't see where you.
That spot right down there.
Oh, I got you. Yeah, I like that spot.
Yep, and if combat does break out and we need to actually cast spells and with verbal components, since I'll cast it on something like a coin, I can throw the coin away.
If I'm counting right, that's actually, if you go right in that corner, yeah, the tower's infravision. Even if they're not using lights, they're using infravision. It won't pick us up.
Yeah, because as I said before, torches and lanterns and things like that, they ruin infravision, right? So even if they had torches like here, where these carts are, and again, just as a reminder, most of this stuff on the picture is just for aesthetic purposes, although the buildings are there and the carts are there, but a lot of times the other stuff may not be. But in this case, most of the stuff is there. Right here in the middle, there's a well, etc. So anyway, I'm just saying. But like I said,
sorry.
No, that's fine. Go ahead. Question.
I was just question is, from what we saw of the fencing, you said there was slots in it. Now,
not really slots.
We don't know that point.
There are
something that
That's something that you what?
Gaps?
Sorry.
Gaps you're talking about? There was gaps in the fence?
Yeah, it's just everyone in some places there were like a gap here and there. For the most part, think of it as a stockade where they had they have like mud and thatch and everything kind of running up between it, the ceiling gaps and stuff to hold these timbers together. And so that's kind of how this is. They're set heavily into the ground. It's a stockade, but it's not meant to be unbreachable like, oh, we're going to fortify our town with this big ass wall. No, this is just to sort of lay out an area. It's solid that you could climb up and down it. If you run into it, it's not going to knock over. It's going to take some work to knock it over. But there are small, like little gaps that you can kind of see through and stuff like that. But nothing enough that you saw off the top of your head where you could like crawl through. But again, you were only right there by the gate. You didn't look the whole wall. As far as you know, there could be a complete big ass hole in the backside of the fence that rats chewed through or something.
Well, I think we should check it out. I think a couple of us, or even not me, whoever's sneaky, maybe tonight we should go check that area out right there, just to see if.
Well, that's right up Hub's alley.
Yep,
I'm up for it.
We got ourselves a plan, but a little reconnoiter by Hub couldn't hurt.
Okay.
Did we confirm that he had visibility?
He does not have invisibility.
All right, well, then if we wait till it's dark, you guys can hang out just, further down off of the rocks and everything, just in case I needed help. But Hub could just scoot right up along that rock face and just investigate the wall right there.
Yep.
Okay. Sounds like a plan, good sir.
Let's
so,
do it.
Dean, since that's going to be this evening and we've got the whole day, and I don't necessarily need to role play any of this, Hub would like to acquire a pair of shoes that are waterproof.
Waterproof shoes. Okay.
Yes.
So as you guys finish your breakfast with the miners, you find yourselves back in town doing whatever it is that you guys wanted to do. Hub, you can travel over to Building 7 off the main market. That is the Diamond Lake Trading Store. In there, you guys have been shopping there before, but that's where like the main store for buying goods in there. Inside the fellow who runs the store, his name is Taggin, and you guys met his cousin previously, who was an employee at the store by the name of Veller. And as you enter into, and by the way, what does everybody else want to do? Anything after you're done eating? Any place particular you're going to go? Or are you just going to head back to your house and wait? What do we want to do while I'm dealing with Hub?
I think we should get some of those gas masks.
I bought one for each of us. Everybody's got one now.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I bought them like 2 sessions ago and gave everybody one.
Yep, and I'll make sure that I create that on the sheets and whatnot and stuff. So.
Kind of wondering if we shouldn't have gotten one of those little parakeets or whatever it tells us if the gas is around.
Holy water. Let's see if we can.
Not a bad idea.
All right. While you guys are working out to determine what other gear that you may want to procure today, Hub, you make your way to the general store. And as I said, inside you find Veller, the same fellow that you guys dealt with when you came inside to purchase stuff before. The store itself this morning is not quite as busy as it's been other days that you've been here later in the day. It still is relatively early in the morning, as you guys were only there eating breakfast for maybe an hour, so it's roughly like 9 o'clock in the morning right now. And the shop itself looks like it is only recently opened, as Veller is out on there's wood slats laid down all the way around the town square, because the town square tends to get muddy and whatnot because it's not brick or stone, it's all mud and muck. And of course, in the winter months, it makes it even worse as you trudge through the muddy slop, and you get and finally find yourself on solid footing. Purchases. You see Veller out on the porch, kind of sweeping and cleaning things away. Master Hobbit, good morning, good sir. What may we do for you this fine day?
Well, good morning, Veller. I put a lot of time and grooming into these feet.
And might I say, sir, that you have done a great job.
Oh, well, thank you. That's the exact kind of, result that I look for. However, as I tromp around, I'm often chagrined that my feet get dirty. And so I'm wondering if you happen to have a pair of watertight foot gear that I could slip onto my feet every now and then when I need them.
So, at one time we catered to the fishing trade here in Diamond Lake. Unfortunately, over the years, the amount of fish and the quality of fish, dare I say, has been substandard. And so much of the gear that we would procure from the Free City that revolved around the fishing trade has sadly been severely lacking. And he sort of gives a slight frown as if he's got disappointing news for you. And then he sort of looks up, he goes, however, it just so happens that I have managed to retain in the back, in one of our old crates, some relics of a bygone day. And I think I may have exactly what you're looking for. And he moves his way through the shop, leading you toward the back into what is obviously some surplus gear type of an area. Things just kind of thrown on like the clearance rack, just kind of tossed up there and whatnot. And he sort of goes through this area, and you can see there's things like fishing poles and fishing line, such as it was back in the day, hooks and other things that you may find, knives for gutting fish that have sort of a serrated edge on it. And he pulls out this box, and he opens it up, and inside you can see there are boots. And these boots are made of a sort of a flexible, leathery material. He goes, now these boots are specially sewn on the inside to have slight linings for warmth. But what makes them even more miraculous is that they are sealed such that the water can't usually penetrate. But what people fail to realize is when you wear these over time, the fluid seeps into the leather and it begins to seep through. And so we have this, and he pulls out this can and he twists off the lid of this little metal can. And inside you can see this sort of a yellowy clear paste material. He goes, however, the oil of a mink does wonders if you now everybody knows that oil does not mix with water. And so if you adequately cure this oil of mink into this leather, it literally will repel water. Now, I dare say you must reapply this perhaps every couple of months at least, depending upon how often you plan to dip those well manicured and well maintained feet of yours into liquids. However, if it is a frequent, then more frequently you will need to reapply the mink oil. And if it is less frequent, less frequent applications. But for the shoes, but 2 coppers. And if you wish the additional oil, a silver for this can of oil. Unfortunately, this is my only can, and this will probably allow 3 applications. So however often you're required to apply, bear that in mind. If you do desire more, I can submit a request to the city and have our suppliers resupply with some more cans, but I will tell you it will probably come at a premium cost because we don't have a high amount of request for these items, and so it would be a special request, and so the price to procure it for just your use, however much you may need, would be at a premium price. Dare I say, probably at least twice the price, 2 silver pieces per can.
Well, you do drive a hard bargain, but the beauty of it is as I've been in this town for a while now, and nobody's got feats like these.
This
So
is
I'll
true.
take your boots and
Okay.
your can of mink oil. That
Okay.
sounds great, and I'm
Okay.
very appreciative. And I'm wondering, do you have something like a small pry bar that I might be able to get?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. That will be another for the pry bar. I mean, do you wish one to have a hook on it or just a straight pry bar? I mean, I have a couple of different. I have ones that sometimes the carpenters use to remove large nails, and it has a split end on it that you can drive under the head of the nail to pry out that, or is you just something flat? Do you have sort of a preference? I have several different ones that the miners and the carpenters use.
I think that I would get one of each of those because we're remodeling our house and there's old nails up in there, and I definitely need a nail puller. And
Okay.
so that would be very handy.
Okay, so that would be 5 silver pieces for each one, regardless of the pattern. So that would be 15 silver pieces for one of each.
All right. Well, here's what I'm going to do, DM. I'm going to pull out one gold coin and hand it over to him and thank him profusely for how wonderful he's been.
Well, please let me get your change. And she goes,
No,
and he's
no,
like,
I don't need any change. I'll be back. We've got to remodel this whole house. I'll be back many times.
"Oh, well, I look forward to doing business with you, good sir, and enjoy your stay here in our fair town." And he sort
Excellent.
of flips the gold coin in his hand. He bites it to make sure it's real. And he leaves you to your own devices as you now have 3 crowbars, a can of mink oil, and a pair of leather boots. And I will create those.
Thank you, Dan. I'll let you add that to my sheet.
Yep. I don't have mink oil, obviously, but I can do the crowbar part. So
I'm sure you can tell that my goal is to use that crowbar to possibly pry open some gaps in the fence.
I don't like the picture, but I added it anyway. So you now have 3 crowbars on your character sheet. Each one weighs 5 pounds.
I see them.
Each one weighs 5 pounds, I might add.
So, those are heavy duty.
Yes, sir. Got that.
Duty.
I don't think you're going to be like carrying them all yourself anyway, but. And I have a pair of soft boots, but I'm going to rename those. Waterproof boots.
Excellent. Thank you, DM.
Yep, and I'll get the main coil. I just have to create it. So, all right. Are you able to move your token? Because you're on the measuring, so that's why it's not letting you move.
Oh, okay. I was like, what the heck's going on?
Yep. If you click the very top one that looks like a person, and then the little square one right next to it, there you go. Good to go. Cool.
There we go.
All right. Now that took Hub all of about an hour in order to take care of his business. In the meantime, anything else that the party was going to try to go do?
No.
I know you guys talked about. Okay, I know you guys had talked about like holy water or other things is stuff that you guys can do if you want to do that, or we can just hold up here and as Hub is in the general store, you guys can go do what you're doing, and then you guys can kind of meet up after. Like I said, it took Hub about an hour total time. So it's probably about 9:30 or so by the time Hub was done getting what he needed to get. So we could pick you guys up at like 8:30, which is when he left you guys, and then you can go do whatever it is you needed to do, and then we could figure out what time it was by the time you guys were done, and then you guys could all meet wherever at your house or whatever it was you're going to do. Does that sound like a plan?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, cool. I don't want to go any further because Modred may have ideas. So I think why don't we it's 20 minutes early, but let's go ahead and just call it tonight where we're at right now. Is that okay with you guys, or is there something
Sounds
else?
good.
Oh no, I'm good.
Yeah,
No,
I
it
knew
sounds
you
like
would
we're
be.
about ready for the actual action, so let's wait for
Yeah.
the guy.
Yeah, I knew Hub would be ready because Hub's old like me, and he's got to roll and get some sleep. So, so what we're gonna do is
Yes,
we
indeed.
we are gonna roll out. I'm gonna see. Looks like, dang, I'm kind of sad Lord Kazumba didn't raid us, but that's okay. I'm gonna have to have words with Jay. Lord Kazumba was on tonight. I don't know what he was doing, but he was on streaming tonight, and should have gone over there and seen if I won anything. But anyway, we are going to find someone to raid. Probably going to raid Darling just because it's quick and easy and we can get everybody out of here. Don't forget, this Friday is our 5th edition game. Kicks off session 0. Hope you guys will come by as we kick off our Savage Tide. And then, of course, next week we'll be back. And Modred, hopefully, will be back from his family stuff that he had going on, and that way I don't have to worry about playing any kind of a magic user or anything. I would play Renoir because I like playing clerics, but he's not a dwarf, so it'd be kind of hard for me to play a human cleric and act like a dwarf. But anyway, we'll be back, like I said, Friday and next Monday. So I am going to say, like I said, I'm going to go over there. I'm going to raid over to Darling Creepshow. Hope you guys will come with us. It's not letting. Oh, there it goes. It's like it's.
Thanks, DM. See you
All right,
guys
brother.
next week.
All right, brother. We'll see you next time.
Thanks, everyone.
So yeah,
Okay.
so we're gonna go. Hopefully you guys will hang with us and bounce over to Darling. And if not, we will see you next week. But in the meantime, just remember, in a world that you can be anything that you want, all we ask is that you be kind. And let's see how many people we can get over. We had like 8 or 9 viewers, and see if we can get them all over there. But it looks like everybody's already drop. Boom, everybody's going. So out of the 8 people or 9 people we had watching, we got 5 going over. That's good enough. That's a good percentage, man. If you're 5 out of 8, that's like what, almost 60%, close to it, 50%, something like that. Anyway, we'll see you guys next week, man. Appreciate you guys hanging out. Peace.
Anything